a question today from Kelsey, and Kelsey's asking, Dear Kimmy, after training for a big event like a marathon, an Ironman, or any race, what is one thing you can do to get back into a more normal routine and workout schedule? Well, I happen to know this one well. I have done a couple Ironmans, many triathlons, and 8 marathons. And I have to say, I totally understand where you're coming from. When you've been training for a long period of time for one event, then the event happens. Sometimes after that event, there's even a little bit of the blues, like post-race blues, which are really normal. And you're kind of left thinking, well, what do I do now? And how do I get back to normal? Because training for those kind of endurance events is not normal. So what are some things that you can do to get back into a normal routine? For one, you need to take proper recovery time. So if you were doing an Ironman, that's a swim, a bike, and a run, I would actually lay off swimming, biking, and running for at least 2, maybe 3 weeks. And I would do something completely different. Now, after the actual race, like even after a marathon or a triathlon, it is recommended you take about 10 to 14 days off all exercise. And I highly recommend that. I would just do walking based on how you feel. If you're super sore, I would wait till some of that diminishes. So that's the first thing. Make sure that you're getting in the proper recovery. If you tell me, but I feel great after 2 days after a marathon, I'm sorry, you're not recovered yet. Great that you feel great, but you need at least 10 days off of that type of sport. All right. So once you've taken your recovery time, what can you do? What should you do? Honestly, I recommend you start integrating more cross training and maybe focus on something completely different for a little while. So I got very into Pilates after my most recent marathon. It gave me something different to focus on and my body moving in a completely different way. It also kind of re-inspired me to want to go back to exercise because wanting to run and wanting to bike and wanting to swim was just kind of feeling like a drag after you've done it for so long. So I recommend, first of all, find something new that you can try. The second thing is when you go back to maybe doing some of the sports that you were doing from that race, if you want to, and by no means do you have to, you might do it in a different way. So instead of training for a marathon, maybe you train for a 5K. You train very differently for a 5K race and a marathon race, right? One is a much longer endurance pace. One, you're going to be working at a much higher intense level for speed, different training plans completely. And sometimes just training for things differently can make a difference as well. So either finding something new or taking what you were doing and modifying it by, again, maybe marathon versus 5K. Another thing you can do is joining a gym, because sometimes if you don't go to a gym, they offer so many different classes. Forget about workout programs, forget about any kind of goal, and just go each day and try a new workout. Anything that can keep you moving, but not necessarily keep you moving in a workout that is going to bring some kind of injury, right? It's the repetitive motion that a lot of those kind of races create, that kind of overtraining injury. So going to the gym and do a kickbox class one day and a cycle class one day and a yoga class one day, hitting that cross training as much as you can, but again, maybe in a different way if you haven't joined a gym. So those are a few different things you can do. I just highly encourage you to do some new things after you do that race. So congrats to you, whatever race it is that you completed. I know how it feels to feel a little bit lost and sometimes have the blues, but kind of turn the page and make it a new chapter, like, oh, what is something new that I can try now? And cross train as much as you can, recover as much as you can, also zone 2 training as much as you can. If you haven't caught that kind of information, that's coming up on a YouTube video that I've got coming up also. Take care of your body, take care of you, and that's it for Dear Kimmy today. You guys, give me a like, give me some love, please. Subscribe to the channel, and also, if you have a question for Dear Kimmy that is health, fitness, nutrition, or lifestyle, put it in the comments below, and I will get to that one as soon as I can.